Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the REC podcast, brought to you by the REC Toycast. I am your host, Roman Chavez, and with me, as always,
Eric Icarus.
Eric, you can find us online at on the Instagram, really, at REC Podcast.
Yeah.
You can follow me at Roman REC Podcast, and you can follow the Doctor of Love himself around town doing what he does, the Erik Icarus. My friend, good to see you.
You too, buddy.
Good to see you. Man, I've been in a music mood lately.
Yeah, really.
And I used to love music. I mean,
Yeah.
you're still huge into music, but
yeah.
I used to love music, and I've been, with my kids, I've been singing older songs for them.
Sure.
Just, they're just getting a kick out of it. But it ties into our life because one of the songs I was singing today was comic book related, and it got me thinking a lot about there's tons of comic book inspired music out there.
True.
A lot of it in the mainstream leads to one character specifically in my list.
Oh yeah.
Is full of that.
Oh yeah.
But I wanted to know what kind of comic book inspired songs you like, maybe even comic book inspired lines.
Sure.
And it's what's funny is that a lot of this seemed to really exist even before the movie comic book boom.
Oh, big time. Yeah. The ones on my list are way before even the early 2000s boom.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these records came out early 90s, 70s.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh wow.
So you can tell that musicians love comic books. A lot of them do.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting to see. I thought there'd be more, to be honest with you, these days.
Yeah.
I'm assuming a lot of them maybe, they get contracted to write songs for Spider-Verse.
Oh, yeah.
Certain movies get, like, hey, write a song about so-and-so.
Yeah.
I think the Batman, 90s Batman sound, the Schumacher verse.
Yeah.
Even to the Burton verse, with the Prince just doing a whole record about Batman.
Yeah. I mean, the Prince is on my list, so we can kind of start there,
Let's start there.
Because, Prince basically did a whole album for the 1989 Batman.
Yes, sir.
And the big one off of there was the Bat Dance.
Oh, the Bat Dance.
And it's an excellent music video, where he's kind of half Joker
and half Prince.
Yeah, it's so weird.
What's funny, real on a side note, that while Prince was alive, he hated YouTube, rather. So he was paying people a lot of money to just watch YouTube. And his videos went up, boom, off.
Yeah.
He had people just monitoring YouTube. He had something against making money.
Yeah,
I guess, So, but when he passed away, something happened to where those people weren't getting paid anymore, so now there's Prince videos unofficially on YouTube. So it's pretty awesome. That was just a little side note. I thought
Prince has a big problem with the artist not getting their fair share. So if he puts his stuff out on YouTube gets a much larger share of the ad revenue, and he is not about that.
Big time.
So,
but, back to the Bat Dance, I mean, it's a catchy song.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that song, but my favorite one off that soundtrack is Party Man.
Party Man. Okay, I'm not familiar with that.
You don't know Party Man?
I don't. I'm not a big fan of the Burton Batmans, so...
Well, the song plays during the museum...
when he's defacing the stuff.
Yeah, that's Party Man. The video is really comical. I recommend anybody, our listeners, go look this up in YouTube when you get a moment.
Okay.
It is absolutely hilarious. Prince comes in, half Joker, half Prince, keeping that garb going.
Yeah.
He is the Party Man. He has a official person with a decree saying, "This is the Party Man. He's come to bring the party."
Yeah. Oh.
And
nice.
there's my favorite line. My favorite line in Party Man is his saxophone player's name is Candy. So Prince, he's not singing this, by the way. He's talking. He goes, "When I want trombone, my dog is handy. But when I want sax, I call Candy."
Oh.
And she busts into this awesome saxophone solo.
Yeah.
So
Does she let you in any of that you're aware of?
What's that?
Does she let you in any of that?
I don't believe she was part of the
revolution
the
at that time.
Revolution at this point, or the E generation or whatever you wanted to call it. But I don't think so at this point.
Okay.
But it was funny how they marketed that. Brilliant.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Remember Summer '89? You couldn't get away from Batman.
No, man.
Like, I had that soundtrack on tape.
I saw a bag of Batman, Tim Burton Batman chips. They were in the bat symbol go on eBay a couple years ago for a couple $100.
I believe it. Yeah. And cereal too was pretty bomb.
Yeah. Oh, I do remember the cereal.
It tasted just kind of like Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
It was, Batarangs.
Yeah, everything tastes better as a batarang. I mean, that's just a rule of thumb, I think, If your place is struggling, start cutting in some batarang shapes into your food and you will make some money.
But I think that's kind of where I started noticing musicians writing about superheroes or comic book stuff. So that's a good place to start, I think,
For an album I've never listened to, but I heavily think about when I think about music, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, is, because you might actually remember the full title, Joe Satriani's...
Silver Surfer. The Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of the record.
I think it's Surfing with the Alien or something like that. Right. And I just remember the cover. When I was a kid, you'd see that album at Best Buy.
Yeah.
And it was like, the Silver Surfer's on this CD. And I always wanted to listen to it. I never did.
You're going to be disappointed.
Yeah. I don't know if it's anything that I'm interested in.
I don't think there's anything directly influenced by Silver Surfer. I just think he thought his riffs and his noodling was cosmic.
Yeah,
was the cosmic power.
Yeah, that cosmic noodling. You gotta the power noodle. Oh,
that's great. That was, I remember being a kid too and being like, oh my god, that's Silver Surfer, and almost buying it.
Yeah, same here. Almost buying it too. And I think my mom and my dad was like, "Do you listen to anything from Joe Satriani?" I said, "No." They're like, "I'm afraid it's not going to be what you want."
You're gonna be very disappointed.
Yeah. So.
And I think if I bought that, my dad as a punishment would just like, "Oh, you're listening."
Yeah,
to
yeah.
this.
We're gonna listen to it front to back, and then you're gonna eat that pack of cigarettes. Well, I'm dying to hear a song choice from you.
Mine's I'm gonna start off with the probably the oldest one I can think of on my list is from 1977 from a band called Suicide. Love Suicide.
Ghost Rider?
Ghost Rider!
No.
Yeah. This is a band I've gotten into kind of later in life, maybe 5 years ago, got into Suicide. Not for the faint of heart. Oh, it was on your list too? Nice! Definitely up there. Check Suicide out. This is the opening track to their 1977 debut record. And
I didn't realize it was that old.
And it is just what it is. It's about Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
It's just about Ghost Rider, and it's set to this awesome synth track, these crazy drum loops going on, and starts off with Ghost Rider, Motorcycle Hero. Just goes right into it. It is so awesome. It's just describes Ghost Rider as the superhero, and it rocks. It rocks.
Because it's off that album, that white one with the
Suicide.
with the blood. Yeah, blood.
Yeah, I remember showing it to you.
Yeah, and I think that's what actually put me on it. So, so very, very recently. I'm not like I'm not like an old Suicide fan or anything like that.
But check it out, kids. It's the band is called Suicide, and the song. If you're into Ghost Rider, if you're into not the act of suicide, but
yeah.
If you're into Suicide, check out the Ghost Rider track. What did you think of that song?
It's definitely an Eric song. It's definitely an Eric song. And kids, you're gonna see I'm way more mainstream than Eric is. Eric is still this near 36-year-old guy who. He's like just getting into bands that have already existed for a long time. But I was really into Prince. You guys into Prince? No, Eric's not quite that pretentious, but
I'm there. I took the line.
Yeah. You are the new wave of that.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I can take that.
My stuff's gonna be a bit more mainstream. I have kind of a personal connection with this next one, and you're gonna laugh. But very simply, it's 3 Doors Down, Kryptonite. Mm-hmm. Very popular song, like 99, 2000. Mm-hmm. And it was very popular. Maybe some of you guys are too young for it. Excuse me, but yeah, it was awesome. It's not really about Superman, but there are Superman references in it, and just about feeling the weight of the world, going crazy. Not knowing what to do with your power, but like more poppy.
Sure.
But my first paycheck from my first job was for $78, and I went to Media Play and I bought 3 Doors Down. I don't even remember what the album is actually called.
I think it was the self-titled?
It might have been self-titled, but I mean, it was their big break, and and man, you couldn't go anywhere. There's that awesome, just little drum riff that's going on.
I'm about to say the drum lick is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just fun.
The song,
yeah. It's a fun way to do that. It was.
You remember the video?
Yeah, it had that weird guy in it, right?
It was an older gentleman,
like an old Superman or old hero.
Yeah, because obviously they couldn't use DC characters.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they were able to use Kryptonite, because isn't that copyrighted?
No, because Kryptonite's an actual element.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's an actual element.
That.
So
I thought that was made up.
Yeah,
but
you were just hoping it was made up.
But the video cracks me up quite a bit. It's if you don't remember, kids, go YouTube it. It's pretty funny. It's just, the superhero past his prime.
Yeah.
And he actually kind of a cool video.
Yeah.
The band's playing in a bar to all these washed up superheroes, and the one superhero's in his apartment sees a girl being kidnapped. He pursues them. Doesn't be taken serious as a threat, but ends up thwarting the villain.
Yeah.
Saving the girl.
Yeah.
Gets his sense of purpose back. So it's a funny video, but it's actually kind of like, that's got a little cute message.
It's nothing. It's on a musical note, it's nothing complex, but it's good tunes. It's just fun to listen to. If it's on in a bar, I'm excited. I've got now this one's a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know if obscure is the right word, but it was like. This band, Our Lady Peace.
Oh, yeah.
And the big motif you're going to find with mine is this is yet another one about Superman. The song is Superman's Dead. And it is a very...
It's 90s.
It's super 90s.
It's so 90s.
It's
90s
like
angst pouring through your speakers.
I love that. 90s angst. Somebody who really liked Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, and like Kurt Cobain's guitar playing.
Yes, and it was crunchy, it was fun, and the song has nothing to do with Superman actually dying, it has nothing to do with the comic. It's a song about nothing, but in the chorus, they say that Superman's dead.
Well, you gotta sing it.
I can't. It's so bad, but I love it. I like that song "Clumsy." I like that song a lot from Our Lady Peace.
They had a couple of decent songs.
Yeah, it's whiny, but it's it's got good like Eric said, kind of crunchy guitar.
Yeah.
It's somebody trying to do Kurt Cobain, but trying to put their own spin on it. And I love the song still. It's bad, but it's good.
It's a 90s staple.
Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure. It's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah. And again, but problem is, there's no, from what I remember, like you said, there's no real tie to Superman except for the chorus, so I think that's where it loses little points for me. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just, we needed something to rhyme with head. Oh, dead. Oh, we need more syllables. Superman. Boom. Put it down. Yeah, nail it.
Yeah, I don't get an overarching feel that Our Lady Peace is really into Superman as a group,
Oh my god. Mine's gonna be a nice my next one's gonna be a nice twofer from the same band.
Really?
Yes, sir. You're aware of the band, Monster Magnet. If our listeners don't know, Monster Magnet had the Space Lord song.
Yeah, Space Lord, move.
Yeah, good song. Terrible. Good band. I love this song.
I like that kind of twangy guitar song.
Oh yeah, which is funny because they're a heavy stoner rock band, a la Queens of the Stone Age, old Queens of the Stone Age, old Caius. But they have a song called "Ego." The Living Planet, which is deep cuts.
Great. Deep cuts now, not so much because if you remember Guardians 2, a version of Ego is in that movie.
Very true. In the comics, Ego is literally a planet with a face.
Yeah.
And it talks and I guess you can make the argument all planets are kind of living.
Yeah, sure. But this was literally like a dude smashed into a planet and became the planet. You know?
And then the only lyrics in this song are, "I'm Ego, I'm a talking plant."
Hey, what a bizarre thing to put into a song from that long ago.
Oh yeah, 97, I believe it's off the Dopes to Infinity record, which, no one was clamoring for. Those guys are, you could tell they were hardcore comic readers if you're naming your track after Ego, the Living Planet.
Yeah, you're calling your shot.
Which is what is like the Kirby era.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Kirby, Thor.
And
honestly, Kirby at his best. I love it when Jack was... I think Jack in space was always...
His psychedelic stuff was amazing.
Dude, for a guy who was not on any psychedelics that I've ever heard of.
No.
He seemed like a very straight-laced, button-down World War II vet.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was a World War II vet, but I'm pretty sure he was. If not, Stan was, and that's what I'm confusing it with. But his space imagery is just so unique.
Yeah.
And often, I like it when a good artist pays homage to it, where they put that clean, modern touch to it, but you know
it's Kirby.
It's Kirby.
Oh, big time.
You know, I think Jim Starlin is that way a lot.
Kirby might have maybe, you know, blazed the path.
Yeah.
Starlin
owns space.
There you go.
I don't know.
That's what I was going to.
I can't think of another artist that when I think of space, I think of Kirby and I think of Starlin.
Oh yeah. I mean, just the way they've done it. And funny enough, I mean, when you listen to this track from Monster Magnet, you get a feel for that.
Yeah.
It's spacey, it's psychedelic, it's heavy. And you can tell they did their homework. But like I said, this is kind of a twofer, but it's kind of reversed this time. Monster Magnet had a song called Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Yeah. Off the same record, I believe. I think it's still off the Dopes to Infinity record. But this song was written in '97. So I'm thinking the creator of the character Negasonic Teenage Warhead was kind of maybe paying homage to Monster Magnet for writing the Ego song, The Living Planet. I think they adopted the name for that character, which is both Deadpool movies, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, she's in both Deadpool movies, but she was more just like it was actually Grant Morrison's creation in his new X-Men movie.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Maybe he's a Monster Magnet.
Yeah, I know he got it from a song. I thought what I read was that he got it from a band that was called Negasonic Teenage Warhead, but now I don't know.
There could be a band possibly named that. I wouldn't be surprised. Cool name.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, it's originally a Monster Magnet song from '97. So I might even think that whoever was the actress said, "Yeah, this is a Monster Magnet song. My dad loves Monster Magnet."
Negasonic. Such an obscure character to bring in, and I loved that was the one thing I was loving that they were doing about Deadpool was just bringing us weird stuff.
Oh, big time!
But her powers aren't anything like that in the comic.
What does she do in the comic?
Because in the comic or in the movie, she's a lot more like Cannonball.
Yeah,
she's a lot more like Cannonball.
Yeah.
She can't. She's like she is somewhat invulnerable, and I think she does something telepathic. But she's not she's a character I can count how many issues I've read her in.
Okay.
Yeah, she had a small part kind of in Astonishing X-Men. You know, my Bible of X-Men comics. It comes up quite often on the show. But yeah, I've never heard it. I'll have to listen to that.
Yeah, check those two songs out. I think you'll dig them. Because I know you like the early Queens of the Stone Age stuff.
I do like early Queens of the Stone Age.
You'll dig the old Monster Magnet stuff too.
Fair enough. You got another one?
Yeah. We could definitely go into... here's a classic now.
Okay, give me a classic.
It's Paul McCartney wrote a song. He wrote it for the band Wings.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And it's called Magneto and Titanium Man.
With, I believe...
Crimson Dynamo is
referenced
later in the song as well. Not necessarily... singing, I mean, their names come up in this song, but I don't think he's singing about their powers per se.
Yeah.
I think they're talking about a bank heist that these two villains might have went on, which don't think they've ever teamed up before.
Because
Titanium and Dynamo might have teamed up.
Titanium Man and Dynamo for sure. Yeah. Magneto ain't messing around with those guys in suits.
Yeah.
He's not trying to screw with that.
Maybe they're playing on the irony that Magneto hanging out with guys that are metal-based.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe it's making fun of the fact that the two metal-based villains hanging out with a guy who can crush them at any moment.
Yeah.
You know, it's a pretty song. I mean, as far as I know, they did ask Stan Lee if he heard the song, and of course Stan's like, "Yeah, it's great. It's awesome." Yeah. You know, Stan thinks everything's great.
Yeah.
So. And it's Paul McCartney. Come on.
Yeah, this is Wings was the band after the Beatles, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a fan, but you know, I love Paul McCartney and I love the Beatles, and you know, as long as he's singing in Wings, you got me. It's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you heard the song?
I'm aware of it, but I'm not like I haven't listened. If I've heard it, it hasn't been years.
It's folksy.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like early Rubber Soul Beatles. It's kind of got that going for it, but it's a good song. It's a good jam. Yeah. I dig it.
Another again Superman based one for me. And it's just so funny because it's all like the same type of music. Like you know, you think about it. This goes definitely with Three Doors Down, but it's a Daughtry song, "Waiting for Superman," where there's a Flaming Lips song waiting for Superman that I've never heard. I just know the title because it came up when I was looking for Waiting for Superman. I love Chris Daughtry's voice. I like Fuel, and he sounds a little bit like that guy sometimes. And just great radio music for me. Radio rock,
aka butt rock. That's what it's called in the biz.
Is it really? Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Why? Because put the butts in seats, or
we can say that,
or
we
booty.
Can, sure.
just stinks. All right, fair enough. So I like me some butt rock, guys. Butt rock and roll.
Butt rocker.
I'm a well documented butt rocker. But Waiting for Superman, it's just bouncy, fun. Good music video too, where you see this guy walking through like this city, and he keeps having to and he's just some normal dude, and he's just keeps seeing people needing help.
Right.
And he's somebody's about to step off a curb into a car, he stops them.
Oh, okay.
Some girl's getting accosted by unscrupables and
some riffraff.
Some riffraff, and he kind of breaks it up. He's just and as he's going, somebody sees him, and then they do something good.
Oh, okay.
So it's like that. It's infectious.
A pay it forward kind of deal.
Yeah.
Be the Superman.
And it's just funny that literally almost all of mine are Superman based.
Sure.
And it's just Superman doesn't get any love in pop culture in terms of, not like Batman does. But when it comes to music,
people love because
I don't know why.
It's what you said before. It's the Jesus allegory.
Yeah.
And I think it's a safe way to maybe write about Jesus without pulling religion into it.
It's
closest thing to Jesus. That's Superman.
Yes. But it's like Superman doesn't rhyme with anything.
Man can.
I mean, I don't know. It feels like
Flame.
But everybody knows it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So it's just marketable.
Oh yeah. Probably worldwide. Everyone knows Superman.
Yes.
So maybe, boom, there you go.
He's got to be the most recognized superhero on the planet,
yeah,
I'd say.
I'd say so, too.
Iron Man might be pushing that now, but Superman, there was I used to work with this local toy store in town, and they would get this guy from Puerto Rico, and he was a rich dude, and he would get special stuff from them, and but it was all Superman.
Really?
If they got something rare into the shop that was Superman, they would call him, and he would fly out to buy it.
What?
Yeah, it was so weird, and it sounded so cool.
Superman, dude.
Yeah, the most expensive comic in the world is Action Comics 1.
What,
so
$3 million?
Yeah, probably closer to 4 now. Yeah, it's quite the expensive book, but
it's one of those things too. I mean, you're right. It's not to say that Superman's he's not a generic character, but I think the public at large sees Superman as a generic.
Yes.
He's the Boy Scout, he's the good guy. It's easy to write about that as far as a musical take on it, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I now that you're bringing all this up, I'm like, there are a lot of songs about Superman.
Tons. It was
and we're not even counting rap references and hip hop songs.
Hip hop references might get its own show. Straight its own show, because hip hop artists love them.
They love them some comic metaphors.
Because is it? And I may be botching this, but isn't Ghostface Killer? Isn't his alter ego Tony Stark's?
He is Iron Man.
Okay, yeah. So I think his alter ego is Tony Stark's.
Yeah. Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
He calls himself Iron Man.
Okay.
Too.
Yeah.
One of them do anyway.
I think it's Ghostface, but I
which is probably arguably aside from ODB, is my favorite. Well, Meth's pretty cool. Well, you know what? Let's foray into this next one. We can maybe touch on one or two of these from the Batman soundtracks.
Go for it.
The song called Riddler from Method Man.
Aha!
From said Wu-Tang.
I'm not familiar with it.
You didn't hear the Riddler song?
I'm not familiar with it at all.
It's on the Batman Forever soundtrack, which has the Kiss from the Rose.
I'm familiar with that.
No, everyone is.
Has everything to do with Batman. That song is so good, and it has no business being on there.
I think they knew that.
What Batman song was it that had Mariah Carey and Bone, Thugs and Harmony?
That was on the Batman and Robin soundtrack.
That's right. Okay.
We will get to that in a moment.
Oh, jeez.
Because I'm picking one from that. But the Riddler song, I mean, nope, as far as I'm concerned, nobody rides a beat like Method Man.
Oh.
As far as I'm concerned, his flow is just, you can't mess with him. His lyrics aren't always that good. His metaphor is kind of corny sometimes, but his flow, his ride, it doesn't get any better.
Okay.
But he basically just tells you who the Riddler is. That's all that song is. And it's got a weird kind of circusy, bouncy beat to it. Check it out.
Yeah,
it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Yeah, I mean, if you don't know who the Riddler is, you will after this song. That breaks it down pretty good for you.
He's like, it's Jim Carrey. That's it.
But, let's touch back on the We'll go to the next soundtrack, Batman and Robin. We could do that song, but we could do maybe a more broad reference. They did contract this R&B singer to do a song about Gotham City as a whole.
Okay.
And I'm talking about the one and only R. Kelly.
Oh, man. How will we survive? Is that... I've never heard that either.
You haven't heard the Gotham City song?
I have not heard the Gotham City song.
Again, it's just him singing about the plight of Gotham City.
So people always in your business, watching your movies.
It's an interesting song. I don't want to get too hardcore to R. Kelly, but it's interesting that they made the choice of like, okay, don't write about Batman, write about his surroundings.
Yeah,
which I think that's a cool little take.
I always find Gotham to be a character.
Oh yeah,
Gotham is a character in the show.
You can argue Metropolis as well. DC has established, like you said, their cities are their own thing.
Yeah, they're very.
They've done something Marvel couldn't do or hasn't done.
Yeah, because there's not Marvel. Pretty much just kind of goes with the same. There's only a few different places in Marvel.
Like Wakanda.
Like Wakanda, Latveria.
Yeah.
Wundagore.
Right. See, that's even getting obscure.
That's getting really obscure.
Everybody knows Gotham and Metropolis.
Yeah.
Battery City, is that... What am I thinking of? Where's the Green Arrow from?
Green Arrow is from Star City.
Okay.
Yeah. Flash is from... Flash is from Star City. No. Green Arrow is from Star City. Flash is from Coast... No, that's... Green Lantern is Coast City. Wow. See, the thing is, all of those cities and New York and Chicago, all of those still exist.
Right.
So there was actually a fun crossover with the Justice League and the Avengers, where the Avengers go to the DC universe, and actually when the Justice League go to the Marvel universe, they mention how the Earth seems smaller.
Yeah, it's smaller by like point.
Yeah, and that's just because they have all of those fake places.
Exactly. I thought that was a cool, even though I hate that book. Art is amazing, but they punked out the Avengers.
They did punk out the Avengers, but
I'm so mad.
Oh man, we're gonna have to talk about that in a separate show because
we have to. We have to.
Yeah, that'll have to get its own show. We'll have to dig those books out after the movie.
Yeah.
I've got another, yet again, Superman related one, and this one's great. This one, you'll love this. You'll love this. Spin Doctors.
I was waiting for it.
Pocket Full of Kryptonite.
Yeah.
And the album is also called either Jimmy Olsen Sings the Blues or Jimmy Olsen Blues.
Yeah.
So it was ripe with Superman references and really just like referencing like them calling themselves Jimmy Olsen, having to deal with like being Superman's friend.
Right.
Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
Which is a series of comics where Darkseid first appeared.
Hey.
Jimmy Olsen's pal is the first appearance of Darkseid.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's bizarre. It's bizarre. It's quite nuts. Which I wanted to talk to you about that, and we talk about it on the show because it's fun. But we should do a show of first appearances of characters in other people's comics.
I like it.
So Wolverine. Yeah, we're working this out. We're working this out with you guys. This is going to come down the pipe. But yeah, well, I just want to plant that seed.
I like it.
But Spin Doctors, what, 1992? Something like that.
Sure.
Just fun. And that whole album's super fun. I remember my mom bought that, and we loved it. We played it. Is
that the same one with Two Princes?
Yeah, Two Princes, great song. It was in So I Married an Axe Murderer soundtrack. They were great for what they were. I'm not like, I'm gonna go to see the Spin Doctors live. No, that's not happening. But I enjoyed Pocket Full of Kryptonite. Definitely enjoyed Two Princes.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this song is kind of near and dear to me. It's I think this might have been the first time I saw a superhero character in a music video and was like, whoa, what is happening here? Like my two worlds just collided.
Yeah.
It's from a band called Entombed.
Entombed.
And they have a song called The Wolverine Blues.
What?
And it's a doozy. It's them rocking out heavy. This is death metal essentially. And Marvel made a deal with Entombed that they could advertise they could write a song about Wolverine, and they could use Wolverine in the music videos and whatever, and they would have some of their characters wear Entombed T-shirts, and Marvel would advertise Entombed records. Like I guess there was a point in the 90s when death metal fans were also comic book fans. It just kind of meshed.
Yeah, Anthrax has a lot of comic book references.
Huge into comic books. But the video is funny because these guys are from Norway or wherever all those evil death metal
wherever death metal hails from.
Which you think
where it's cold.
It's cold and dark. And, but apparently the singer is backtracking on this and saying, "Oh no, we didn't write this about Wolverine. We had the song written beforehand, and then they asked us to." Be a part of this. Like, you clearly wrote this about Wolverine.
Yeah. Like we don't even know what Wolverine is. They're like talking about adamantium.
Yeah. They talk about claws, being fearless. I mean, you could argue you're singing about the rodent, the Wolverine.
Yeah, well, there are no Wolverines in Norway, so
thank you. So it's just funny that they didn't want to maybe play it up, especially now. Why not play that up?
Oh yeah.
But real quick, they did have a The first pressing of the CD came with a limited edition comic book, which is worth some scratch.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look for that.
Yeah, you should.
I like rare stuff.
It's interesting how much
I am, and you guys are gonna figure this out once we have the studio set up. But I am 10 of your Talon. I am the collector. I would pay Eric a sum of money now so that I may have his scalp when he dies. That rare hairline, bro. It's a rare hairline.
Yeah.
I'd like to give a small shout out to a band that created their own superhero and really did a I guess you would say told a story. And that is They Might Be Giants, Particle Man. Okay, not a comic book, but I appreciate the effort. I got all of Particle Man's powers and his villains and his story in one song.
That's hard to do. They Might Be Giants are underrated indie band.
Completely underrated.
People don't know they sing the Malcolm in the Middle theme song,
which is
for those people don't know.
Which is great, and Constantinople.
yeah. But that's a funny song.
Yeah.
I think they might have maybe wanted to write about Molecule Man.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
I'll just make a Particle Man so we don't get sued.
Yeah.
But I think we're just scratching the surface. I'm sure if we looked a little harder, dug a little further.
Well, there's a whole series of Marvel hip hop variant covers. So when we dig those out, I think we'll have to revisit the hip hop references in comic
we
books,
could even go into rock
versa.
and roll references. I mean, Weezer name dropping Kitty Pryde and Nightcrawler.
Kiss. Releasing their album, releasing that comic with Marvel where their blood is in the ink.
In the ink,
it's
everywhere.
It's so funny to me that this stuff was just kind of going on, but really didn't get a lot of play. Like the Kiss thing got played,
sure.
But it's so, when the Weezer from the Blue album, it was just Buddy Holly. Nobody really cared about the Blue album until the Green album came out. It felt like, and then everybody's like, "Oh, the Blue album's great." It's like, the Blue album was always great.
It was always great. It has "Say It Ain't So," Sweater Song,
"Only in Dreams."
I love that song. But that whole record slams. And don't get me wrong, I'm an indie hipster D-bag, so I love Pinkerton from Weezer the best, obviously. But you can't take anything away from the Blue album. But I always thought it was cool. A cool little memory. I was reading an X-Men comic book, and I don't remember the issue, obviously, but they're playing softball, and Jubilee's wearing a Weezer T-shirt.
Very
cool. That was cool. I was like, oh, whoa.
Oh, see, that'll be even more
Jubilee
interesting.
Should be dating. I should be dating Jubilee. Especially she's a vampire now.
Vampire? Asian vampire?
Vampire?
That's all I
likes
need.
Weezer?
That's all I need. And on that note, kids, we need to find Eric a missus, it seems like. Somebody to love. Kids, that has been our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like what we're doing, please hit the subscribe button. Give us a like, leave us a comment. What are some songs that you like that are based on comic books? Or are there some cool references in comic books to bands that you like? Because that kind of goes around. Jim Lee and John DeLine are like best friends. So there's a lot of a crossover there. Eric, what did you learn today?
I learned that Superman Gets too many songs.
He really does. Like he may not get his due in the public eye like Batman does, but he does get on the dance floor.
He comes off in the music, dude.
I realized that I just love Superman songs. I guess. I mean, if anything is referencing the Man of Steel, I am down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. Kazam? No, Shazam. There it is.
Shazam.
All right, kids. Thank you so much for listening. I have been your host, Roman Chavez.
I'm Erik. Still Erik Icarus.
Oh, still. You've been and shall ever be Erik Icarus. And we will catch you on the next show.